What's up, gamers? This is NGG here with another episode of GG Podcast, and we have our returning guest host, Miggy, over here. Miggy, you want to say hello? There you go. Today, we are going to talk about... Okay, I know I've already talked about, like, what I thought about the Nintendo Switch, but today I want to talk about the numbers. I don't have the numbers specifically, but what I'm seeing, the trends, like the surveys that we've been receiving and stuff like that. I want to get into all of that and what I think it means for gaming as we know it. So that's what we're getting into today. Obviously, you have any ideas of what you think we're talking about, or you want to put in your input, obviously keep it clean, but you can put it all down there. And so I guess we'll start with what I wanted to start with. This topic is the surveys that we got. I don't know if you received the Nintendo survey. Did you get the Nintendo survey?
I might have. I'm horrible at checking my emails unless I'm looking for something.
Well, they only sent it to specific people, but okay. I think what happened is those specific people sent them out to everybody. So they were like, hey, fill this out. And they got inundated with more emails than surveys than I think they were expecting, because they shut that survey down in a day. Like, the survey was shut down completely in a day. And so I took the survey. I didn't record myself, or I would insert the survey here. But some of the questions they were asking were like, and this is where I think it's very telling on Nintendo's side, where some of the questions were like, do you buy physical? Do you buy digital? Do the peoples in your home buy digital? Do the people in your home buy physical? What would make you buy a physical or a digital for somebody you know? And a lot of some of the questions were like leading, like, do you buy physicals to resell it? Do you buy physicals to... And I'm like, bitch, I'm not reselling nothing. I'm not reselling... Right. I'm like, I'm not reselling anything. I mean, I will buy a used game. I won't say that I've never... Look, I ain't pulling full price. I ain't paying full price. So if it's used and it's less and there's nothing wrong with the game, I will buy a used game. But I primarily wait for things to go on sale, or if it's a game I want, then I'll buy that. That'll be the only time you catch me paying normal or MSRP. But a lot of the questions were like leaning towards like, do you buy them to sell them? Are you gonna? And they kept asking like if you were gonna sell your games, and I feel like, my guy, like I want to play the game and keep the game, and I want to be able to just, Miggy, you want to borrow this? Here, take it. Right? I want to be able to just lend my friends the games, but the only people you can lend to are people who are physically next to you, like you would do a physical game, or anybody in your family plan you can lend to. I mean, that I like that they did finally they did something with the digital, but I don't think it was enough to like quail like these key card codes. And I know everybody's getting on Nintendo for the key card codes, but it's really the other companies that are like, because Nintendo's forking out the money. I know they're the ones who set the price too, but they're the ones forking out the money for their own key cards. Whereas the other companies, they're like, I'd rather pay $5 than $15 for that card. And everybody is doing a key card. And I think like the investors meeting that they had, they were like super worried. Did you hear any of these like murmurings when you were going on the interwebs? Because I know I heard a lot more murmurings about the investor meetings and all that stuff too.
I haven't heard about the investor meetings, but I did hear about the surveys and whatnot. And I thought what you were talking about the key card thing, that was Nintendo's doing to kind of maybe persuade them. It's like, hey, you can get this and I think it's like, what is it, like 64 gig card for $10, or you can get this like 16 gig card for like $5, to print on. So putting that option out there. And of course, I mean, if I'm going to save money, if I can save money and get my game out there, I'm going to do it. But not every company decided to go that route. You have I think the rare few, I think Daemon X Machina, the sequel, that one's fully on the card. Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk, yes, but Daemon X Machina is a Nintendo property, so all Nintendo games are not keycard. Like, for some reason, though, Daemon X Machina
on PlayStation
came
5.
Oh, is it? It's not a Nintendo property?
Nope, it's on PS5 and I think PS5, PC, and Switch.
Okay, then I'm mistaken. I thought for some reason Daemon X Machina was like Bayonetta, where they bought over the property. And okay, my mistake. You see, this is why we have the facts guy. I get fact checked in real life. Look, don't be afraid of getting fact checked, my guys.
Yeah, because I was like, I had fun with the first one on the Switch 1, and somehow I got it for free. Never pay full price, for free on Epic Games. So I want to play it on PC to see how it runs better. And I was like, yeah, this game, even though it's like different, you're in an exosuit instead of a mech in the second one. I'm playing on PS5.
Okay. All right.
I'm trying to find those surveys too, because I saw some screenshots. But yeah, they scrub those surveys like off of the internet.
Yeah, I really wish I would have screen recorded it when I was taking. One, I didn't think that it would go away, right? I thought the surveys were just gonna be a survey they left up. I didn't know that they were just gonna like yank. No, you didn't. Nothing to see here. Don't look, people. Don't look. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. But like, yeah. So when I was reading the questions, a lot of them were like kind of like Nintendo felt like Nintendo felt that you were buying the game and then selling it. And I'm like, bitch, I'm not buying your game and selling it. I'm buying your game and keeping it on my shelf for my retirement, but I'm not selling it. But so like I felt like they were asking a lot of leading questions, like, are you selling your game? Like a lot of the questions were like towards like, if you're buying physical, why are you buying physical? And then and you could put a response. You found it? Go ahead.
I found let's see, I had to go to gonintendo.com, and they actually printed the question. They asked them 3 questions. The first one: prior to this survey, were you aware that there is a type of game card called game key card among the different types of Nintendo Switch 2 physical releases? Answer A: I own game key cards. B: I don't own game key cards, but I am aware of them. C: I did not know about game key cards. The second question: are you aware of these particular features about game key cards? Please tick everything that you know. A: after downloading the game data, you can start the game even without connecting to the internet. B: you are required to connect to the internet to download the game data when you insert and use a new game key card for the first time. C: in order to download the game data, you need free memory space on a micro SD express card or the internal storage. D: you can also download game data on another system by simply inserting the game key card. E: you are required to have the game key card inserted in the system in order to start and play the game. F: I don't know any of them. And then the last,
like, I don't give a fuck.
3. The last question was: after reading the explanations above, if there is a game key card and a digital release for a game that you wish to buy, which will you choose? Please select the option that aligns with your thinking. A: I will try to buy the game key card as much as possible. B: if anything, I'd say I'll go with the game key card. C: can't say which, not sure. D: if anything, I'd say I'll go with the digital version. E: I will try to buy digital versions as much as possible.
See, this is not the survey I feel like I said. I feel like this is a different survey. Because that's not like, you're reading as you're reading. It's not sounding like something I answered.
Oh, okay. It says
key card.
It appears Nintendo is sending out another survey as it includes questions about Switch 2 physical game releases. Keep an eye out for anybody. Let's see. Oh, that was X. Never. Yeah, we found that too. Somebody screenshotted it on X. Hey, shout out to physical releases on X. Okay, so let's see. The first one was I'm gonna read it how they imagine you are purchasing a new Nintendo Switch or Nintendo Switch 2 game for yourself. For yourself was underlined. The following options describe various methods by which you might purchase that game. For each method, please indicate how you likely would be to purchase. Physical cartridge. The full game is included on the physical cartridge, which must be inserted into the game console to play the game. The game can be shared and resold. Definitely would buy, probably would buy, might or might not buy, and probably not. That one was covered by a URL. I was about to say UCL. I don't know what UCL is. Anyway, physical with a digital download code in the box. The physical package contains a download code which is redeemed on the Nintendo eShop for a digital download of that game. Once downloaded, the game cannot be shared or resold. Definitely would buy, probably would buy, might or might not buy, probably would buy, definitely would not buy. And then the last one was digital download purchased at retail store in person. A code for a digital game download is purchased in person at a store and provided to the buyer on a receipt. The code can be redeemed on the Nintendo eShop for a digital download of that game. Once downloaded, the game cannot be shared or resold. Definitely would buy, probably would buy, might or might not, probably would, definitely would buy. So, those are questions you were looking for?
Yeah, those were. But you saw how the first one was like resold. You saw how they Nintendo wants to assume that we're reselling our game. I'm like, bitch, I got almost 1,000 games up there. I haven't resold shit.
Well, I think they're gut checking. I think they're gut checking. I think they're gut checking to see like how many people are reselling the games or whatnot. Because I mean, we've heard instances of people their like Switch 2s being bricked or being being banned because they bought a used game. So it's like, hey, you cheating? Or like they recognize, because I think the card might have like a number or an ID like programmed in there. So if it recognizes that key is being attached to a different Nintendo, I was about to say PSN. Lord, I'm a PlayStation guy. I like Nintendo. I'm a PlayStation guy though. But if it's attached to your Nintendo ID, then they might like think something nefarious is going on, because piracy was a problem last generation for them. So I think they're fighting it hard. So it's like we need to see how many people are reselling their games and see if we need to ease up on this or not. Of course, it's Nintendo. They probably don't care anyway.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, but you see how that's what I was talking about. A lot of them were like, "Are you reselling your game?" I'm like, no, I'm not reselling shit. I'm not reselling. Look, I will say, hold on. Let me pull this sucker out. I have this game. I'll use an example. Cat Quest 1, 2, and 3, right? I might resell Cat Quest 1 and 2 because I have the trilogy pack.
Makes sense.
So maybe I might sell the other two games because I have it here and it's all in cart, right? But that might be like the only time you see me selling a game, if I buy a game that comes with a triple pack, and I bought the triple pack and now I'm like, okay, now I don't need the other two. That's the only time you will see a game come on my collection, is if I buy it in a collection and I don't need it anymore. But that's the only time I really need to stop cursing. The only time something leaves off my shelf is if I own it in a collection. Yes, I will try my best not to curse. I'm a little, when I get passionate about something, guys, I know you guys don't hear me curse a lot during regular videos, but when I'm passionate about something, I
or live streaming on a Friday night.
Hey. But so I feel like a lot of the questions were leading to that, and I was like, no, not a lot of people that care about physical media is it because they want to sell their stuff. And I feel like, okay, yes, you're trying to find out but I think the majority of people that buy physical are not going out to buy a physical to sell it unless they hate the game. And in that case, yes. I mean, I will keep a game on my shelf even if I hated it. But I know some people, they never want to see a game if they hated the game. But like for me, once it's in my library, it stays in the library. At least the game itself, even if it came in a different way as well. But like, I was like, Nintendo, what's going on here? And then for them to take down that survey immediately. And then I heard I heard through the grapevine that Sega did one as well, and that it was taken down. Now the one for Sega, I don't really know about. Yeah, I think it was either Sega. Yes, it's either Sega or Atlas. I might be mistaken at what company, but it was one of the bigger companies. Also sent out a survey about like physical media. And that one was, I think, also taken down within a day. But I'm like, this is what I'm saying. I think that companies are like, why aren't my key cards like, being so? Why aren't people wanting my key cards? And I know when I answered the survey, they were like, why do you not buy? Why would you? What makes you not want to buy a digital game? I was like, because you shut down the server the last time. I don't trust that I'll ever get my game back. Are you looking at the Sega one?
I'm looking up Atlas, and as soon as I pulled up Atlas, I got an advertisement for Kaiju number 8 game. Sorry to deflect, but Kaiju number 8, and it looks good. I'm about to grab my phone and download while you.
I don't know what Kaiju number 8 is.
After the podcast, I'm gonna school you. Add it to your list. But yeah, I found so Atlas survey, Atlas 2025, and I don't think this is the one you're talking about, but it's Atlas 2025 online consumer survey. It includes questions for Persona spin-off genres.
No, I don't. Okay. I don't think it was that one. I know the one that were specific, the one that they specifically referenced. Now, see, this is where I need to do like clip these little articles when I want to talk about them. Is they were definitely asking about physical media and key cards on their survey. Now, they might have added other things to that survey. I have no idea, but I know people were saying that they were also asking about the key cards and what would make you want to buy a key card and stuff like that. But to me, that I like and then the investor meetings. While you're looking, I'm gonna keep talking. The investor meetings where the like Nintendo was like, yeah, we're doing fine, and I'm like, you're not listening to your fans because, I think there's a disconnect because I know that I think maybe like 30% of their sales are physical and the rest are digital. So I get that like only 30% of your fans buy physical, but that's still 30% of the pie you're trying to leave behind. Like, why would you leave 30% of a pie that you could have? Like, it's not like the Switch was selling numbers with Switch 1, and like people are still who have a Switch 2 when it's a key card situation on the Switch 2, they're like, I'll just buy the Switch 1 version and play it on my Switch 2. I do hate that specifically Raito, if you buy the Switch 1 version, you cannot enhance it to the Switch 2 version. They made them two completely different. Unlike what was it? I think Rune Factory. Rune Factory. I'm gonna give a shout out to Rune Factory, and I think it's Xseed Company, where they made their physicals. You can play it on the Switch 1, you can play it on the Switch 2, and it's complete on cart. I'm like, let's go. Come on, companies. If if you want me to sell me a Switch 2 copy, which I'm probably not gonna buy because I bought Rune Factory I bought the collector's edition that didn't come on the Switch 2 version, but I think minus the $10 increase, because there was a $10 increase. I'm like, if it was the same price, I would have bought the Switch 2 version, obviously. Or I could have just waited for a sale for the other one to go down to the Switch 1 price and then bought the Switch 2, because I could play it on my Switch 1. I could play it on a Switch 2 if I ever get one. I doubt it at this point right now. Nintendo got to backtrack heavy for me to want to even invest in a Switch 2. I was just I don't like that. You got to be online to initialize that Switch, and I future-proof my gaming, guys. I'm like, no, I don't want to have to be online to play my game or to turn on my system. And Nintendo's already proven that they're gonna shut down these servers whenever they want. Did you find the survey?
No, I didn't. I did find something else, okay, which you were talking about them printing games on on like Switch cartridges. Something came up, which I heard, I think it was like last week or whatever. But Nintendo was encouraging developers to release games on Switch 1 rather than send out Switch Dev 2 kits. And that came that came out of like the I forgot, it was like one of the podcasts is Digital Foundry.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a lot of like the developers that were talking about how they were like unable to get Switch 2 dev kits. So yeah, that's wild. Nintendo's being wild this go.
Like Nintendo's gonna Nintendo hard like they did with the Wii. And I think and I said this, I don't know if I said this in a podcast type thing, but I said that the way the Switch 2 came out, it always felt like the way that the new 3DS came out, whereas like you had your actual new 3DS and then the one that's marked the new 3DS, and it was just an enhancement, and like it had like 3 games that were exclusive to that system. And then the rest were like you just had the thumbstick, right? And now I would not have had the new 3DS had my old 3DS not broke. That one's the one with the thumbstick?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the new 3DS? Okay.
Well, I don't know.
Does it have the thumbstick?
Yeah, thumbstick.
No, it doesn't. You don't have the C-stick. The C-stick.
I don't see a C-stick.
Hold on. Give me a sec. I'm gonna go get mine.
See, I was late to the party when NGG was talking about earlier about like people wanting physical games. I wanted physical when they announced the was it Bravely Default and found it was going to be on the key card. I specifically bought a 3DS just to play Bravely Default, even though I can't take advantage of the online features. I bought it specifically because I've got the game on the cartridge, so I got that and Bravely second. And if y'all know any RPGs that your boy need to play on a 3DS, drop them in the comments. But yeah, I want to own my games. I want them physical, and if the servers get shut down, I want to be able to pop my game in the system and still be able to play them.
And are you able to pop that Bravely Default game in there? No, nothing, just straight up play your game, right?
I sure am. Even though the shops and stuff are shut, the online is shut down on here, I can still pop that disc in here and play it, or cartridge and play it.
Right. So the one I'm talking about is this one where it had the little button right here.
Oh, it has no button.
Yours does. So this is the new. So he has the 3DS. And I have the new 3DS. And like I said, the only reason I own this one is because my pink one broke.
Mm-hmm.
If my pink one would not have, and it was this that broke, and I didn't think at that time to just take it apart and just put on another set. And this one, I think, to be fair, is breaking or broken as well.
It hinges.
This one might be broken as well. I probably play a little too hard on my 3DS when I play.
And see, that's what I get it, because I'm playing the DS version of Chrono Trigger right now, and I'm loving it. But it's like, this is like, I'm mad that I missed out on this when it was originally out. So I'm backtracking. I'm finding new games on eBay to buy and play and pop in. So I'm glad I can still find new games to purchase. Because I think Zelda might be the next 2 games that get the Majora's Mask and. What was the one before that one?
The Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time, yeah.
I want to always say Link. Oh, Link Between Worlds. Don't miss out on that one. Oh,
is that on the 3DS?
Yes.
Okay.
Link Between. A Link to the Past was digital, but A Link Between Worlds is like the spiritual successor. So that one.
I might have to hack it in order to play some of those games, just so I can get that eShop. What they going? Nintendo ain't getting money from this. I'm gonna hack it and I'm gonna download the eShop games. I'm gonna play it on here. Come get me, Nintendo. What you gonna do? I ain't scared of you. Please don't break my system. Please don't break my system. Please don't break my system.
So no, oh my God! Speaking of breaking the systems, have you heard of everybody that's like? Some people, and now I know because, I'm obviously in the loop, but some people are selling their brick systems to other people online on eBay and these other people unsuspectingly don't know what's going on, and they don't know that they can't get online, and they're buying it from these people who are obviously not telling them that these systems can't get online. So no matter what game you buy, like you can't download an update. So if the game is not complete on card, yeah, they're doing it a lot. Like you have to, like people are having to send like receipts. And imagine if you didn't get a receipt, like if it was like a Facebook find or something, and you have no receipt to prove that you are not the party that bricked the system.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's dirty.
Because like you have to prove it to Nintendo. Like, yeah, that wasn't me. Prove it. Like really, this right here is why I haven't bought. Like I've had the opportunity, and it's not like money was the issue, because I was even offered to be gifted one, and I was like, no. And somebody's like, you really turned down a gifted Switch 2? Yes, because I believe passionately that this is not the way Nintendo should operate. And I'm like, I'm gonna be about it. I'm not just gonna say it. I'm gonna be about it. Like, I feel like a lot of the people that I watch on YouTube, and I'm gonna be honest, I stopped watching a lot of the bigger content creators, because I'm like, a lot of them, I felt like, you're fake mad. Like, you still bought the system, you're still playing the Switch 2 games, and you're still buying the key cards. I'm like, how mad are you that you're still supporting? Like, I haven't bought a Switch 2 game. I don't have a Switch 2. I've had the opportunity, and I'm like, no, thank you. Thank you, but no, thank you.
But in GG, I'm a content creator. I have to buy the console so I can create the content for the people. I don't want it, but yeah. I need it. I'm a streamer.
Now, it's not to say that I haven't streamed a Switch 2 game. I will say that I had a friend of mine who bought it over, and I tested it out. But it's not mine. I didn't actually buy it. I was like, all right, I'll play with your system, but I'm not buying it. I will see what the big... I'll be honest, there was nothing major. I didn't see anything different. I think I streamed Yakuza 0, the director's cut. And I was like, the game is great, but I'm like, not like, if it comes out to PlayStation, I might pick it up on the Play. Well, I already have the Yakuza series, but if I get the director's cut with the English dubs and stuff like that, yeah, I know it's not dubbed, the ones I have, but if they come out with the English dub version to other systems, I might buy. Look, I'm gonna be honest, I'm so mad at how Nintendo's been doing. I've been contemplating so hard buying a PlayStation 5. So hard. I was like, ooh, I was gonna do it, but here's the other thing that's been bothering me lately. And I know people are gonna blame the tariffs and stuff like that, but I'm like, no, not doing it yet. Not yet.
Look at this beautiful color. Look at this beautiful negative color. Look at that. It's beautiful. You want it?
Look at that beautiful Switch controller. That's not the actual color that you can.
I mean, we can play that game too. I got a beautiful. See, look at that. Look at that.
You know what's sad? Look, you know what's so funny? That both yours are black and both.
Hold on. So, side note. I bought. So the Wii irks me because that was like the first white console that I had. I put skins on it. Like I put a Xenoblade skin on it. So when I looked at it, at least it had some color to it. Then I got then I think I had my Xbox 360. All my systems have been black. Xbox One, that was like white, like a VCR. And then I get the PS5, which looks like a filtration device. I immediately said, all right, let me get this matte black skin for it, and then the black controller. So like all of my white stuff is like in the closet. So I'm like, everything matches. I have to, order has been restored. So all my systems
I'm trying to go the other way. I'm trying to make mine's light.
Even my PC, the PC that I built, it's black.
That's something funny. About black. But yeah, so what was it? Nintendo raised their Switches, I think, by 50. The Switch 1. Yeah. Well, after they told you, if you're not happy about the prices, or the stuff with the Switch 2, just buy the Switch. I think Doug Bowser said that. I'm like, bitch, you little bitch. And then
he said, like, if you broke, just say that. Just go get a Switch 1. You know, don't be mad at us.
Right. And so I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stay with my Switch 1. Obviously, I'm not needing to buy another Switch 1. I'm not lacking for Switches in my household. But I'm like, and then you go off and raise the price of the Switch 1. I'm like, my guy, you just told us if we're not happy with the Switch 2, get the Switch 1, and then you raise the prices of the Switch 1?
Well, tariffs and the economy and development and solar winds and McDonald's Happy Meals.
No, and then Xbox did it. I'm like, Xbox, nobody's buying your fucking system.
I laughed so hard when Xbox said that. It's like, oh, look at all these people still not buying it.
I'm gonna not buy it even harder.
And it's like, I think that they're just trying to finish themselves up, because they're like, you know what? This is an Xbox. My phone is an Xbox. We're talking on an Xbox. My TV is an Xbox. They're making you can play Xbox and everything, so it's like you really don't need a console. So sit down, Xbox. Keep eating your glue.
Right. And I think PlayStation was next. PlayStation actually raised their prices too. And they didn't warn anybody. They did it next day. They're like, so you had one day if you wanted to get a PlayStation 5 to just get it. And I was like, because I have been contemplating it. Like I the reason I haven't the gun is because I have enough games to play. I don't need another system. But I don't need it. I don't need it. Either way, right. So then PlayStation was like, you got less than 24 hours, my guy, if you want to buy it at normal MSRP. But what I love, now I haven't checked if they're doing it with the PlayStation, the retailers, the people that sell you this stuff, not the companies themselves, not if you buy direct from the manufacturer, but the retailers, they're still selling it for old MSRP prices. They're like, guys, they're eating the cost. And I'm like, thank you, somebody who actually has the customer's best interest at heart. And I feel like with the retailers, they're like, yes, if we don't sell them the console, we can't sell them the game. And if the console is too expensive, nobody's buying these games.
Let's see. I'm gonna look up something disgusting right here. Sony 2025 earnings profits.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. And yeah, I can't spell. I spelled earrings instead of earnings. My bad. So apparently, let's see. The fiscal year. Okay, I need to do some math. Because let's see, as of September 2025, Sony has already reported its fiscal year of 2025 first quarter earnings. Here's a summary of Sony's report earnings of fiscal quarter 1 of 2025. The sales the company reported consolidated was 2.62 trillion yen, which translates to $18.13 billion with a B. A 2% increase over a year. Operating income grew 36% to a record of 2.35 billion. Net income saw a 23% increase of 1.79 billion. Earnings to share, beating analysts' estimated report was like, Sony announced EPS, whatever that is, 30 cents, beating analysts' consensus estimate of 23 cents. So I'm saying all that to say that Sony could have eaten the cost. Like if they were talking about tariffs and other things, the economy and all this stuff, they could have eaten that cost. That would have went miles for them. Like Nintendo's raising their prices, Xbox is raising their prices. You know who's not going to raise their prices? Us. Here's Ghost of Yote. They could have done that. $18.13 billion in profits in quarter one of this fiscal year.
Right.
Like it's all greed with all these companies. It's all greed. Nintendo started it, and everybody else is like, oh, people complained about it, but they still went out and bought it. We can do the same thing. Not you, Xbox. Sit down. Sit down. Keep eating your glue. But they're like, we can do the same thing. It's ridiculous. But it's also showing the rise. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just gonna say, with Nintendo, I mean, with the first parties raising their prices and stuff, I'm seeing a lot of shine coming to these indie developers, like these AA developers, stuff like that. They're dropping a Silk Song just came out, $20. Now, as many people that was chomping at the bit for that game, they broke servers. Steam went down, Humble went down. I think PSN had issues buying that game when the game dropped. Now, as many people that has been waiting for that game, do you not think that they could have sold that game for $50 or $60 and made a ton of money because of how much people wanted that game? But no, they were like $20. $20, have fun.
Right. And I know they'll probably do a $35 physical, which is fine. Look,
I'm still
like
a decent price.
Right. Because I think when they did because I have it, I just haven't played it. I have their Hollow Knight game, and when I bought it for my sister, I think I bought it at $35 when I gave it to her as a gift. I mean, I have the collector's edition because I thought the collector's edition was cool. I still have yet to play it, but like this is my thing about physical and digital media. Like, I get physical costing more because there's manufacturing, there's blah blah blah. So like Silk Song coming out to 20 digitally and 35 physically, I get it, because you gotta sell it, you gotta retail it. I get that, right? But I don't get where like Mario Kart is 80 is 80, right? Is 80 it's 80 on the download and 80 on the physical. Like, make it make sense, my guy. Like, it costs you nothing to sell that digital copy. But, I mean, it barely, like, it should be like, and I think all digital games, right? Like, I'm not gonna buy the digital, right? So this is me looking out for all you people who buy digital. That's not me, obviously, but the people who buy digital, like, you should save money against the people who are buying physical. But I find that sometimes the games that I'm finding the physicals for, I can find those at cheaper rates than the online one, the digital ones, and I'm like, guys, do you not see that you can just wait for a sale, guys? Just wait for a sale.
Never pay full price.
For reals. Speaking of never pay full price, guess what I bought at never pay full prices when they were trying to blame the tariffs on the prices for the amiibos? All of the amiibos at GameStop. GameStop couldn't sell them. I went into the GameStop to pick up my amiibos, the Switch 2 amiibos, specifically are the ones I'm talking about. All of them were at $20, which is what they should have been. I mean, I get, for inflation, like, they used to be $12.99, then they went to $15, then they went to $17, now they're at $20. That little increases like that don't bother me as much, even though they don't cost more to make than a toy in a store. So like, if I can buy a $12 toy, I should be able to buy a $12 amiibo. But we'll leave that argument aside. But I went to buy my amiibo, and they were like, yeah, we couldn't sell these. We couldn't get these off the shelf. Nobody's buying them. At the store I went to, and I went to, a store, a normal GameStop, in a very busy area. I was like, it's not even like a dead area. They were like, and I looked, they had walls of amiibos on their shelves, and they were like, we can't sell these. Still so $20. All of their Switch is still $20.
Yeah, I need this Kimberly.
I told you about this already.
I know, I forget.
Why are we waiting for this?
See, I forget.
I already have Kimberly. But yeah, so like all of them still $20. And I remember, guys, I have now a full collection of amiibos, and I was like, no, I'm not paying $30 and I'm not paying $40. My Zelda amiibos were purchased for me as a gift, so I feel bad that the person now paid $10 more than they should have because they were paying the tariff prices, because GameStop is selling all of them, all of your Switch 2 amiibos at $20. And I'm like, guys, money talks and bullshit walks. If you buy it, there's no reason for them to discount it. GameStop was like, we can't sell these, we need to discount them.
They got Pyra and Mithra back in stock. I'm salty. Right? I'm still salty. I had to bless a scalper for it. I paid $60 for him.
I told you not to.
I couldn't find
just
him.
Asked me. You should have just asked me. I was at the Nintendo store. I'd have just picked up another one. Huh? No, the day they came out. The day they came out, you when you told me I can't find it, I was like, you should have told me I was in the store. I had to just pick you up a copy and mailed it to you. You would have had to pay postage and the actual item. I wouldn't have scalped it for you.
Ooh, a Zelda amiibo. Look, why am I on this site now? Why am I don't need.
Get off the site. We're talking here. We're talking here. But yeah, so and this is what I'm saying, guys. Money talks and BS walks, because all of us probably collectively was like, no, the amiibos now cost as much as a Switch game, indie Switch game.
Yeah,
right. So wild. I can buy indie Switch games at $40 and sometimes at $20 and still have a great time. Like, you can still find Stardew, I think, for like $40. So you want me to buy an amiibo versus an experience that I could have a long experience, because people who are on Stardew are hooked.
Even as a collector, I get a $40 Kimberly amiibo, or I can get a $40 Kimberly statue, which was bigger. It's like, I mean, yeah, I get it. The amiibo, I don't even know what the purposes of amiibos are anymore in the games, because before you could do ghost data, maybe get some fun items, but now they're just like, here, give us money.
Right. I mean, I buy them for the collecting purposes. I will say that they got me with the collecting, right? Because I don't even like Street Fighter, and I bought all the Street Fighter amiibos. But that's because I have a full, almost complete collection of amiibos. And I was willing to drop that complete collection for like no $40 amiibos. I was like, no, I'm not willing to pay for no $40 amiibos. Thank you, but no thank you.
Yeah, I'm not that bad.
And when they bought them
12.
Well, you got model kids, so
we won't talk about that.
So yeah, so I would like, and like I said, this is where I get to like the money talks and BS was. They couldn't get rid of them, and they were like, all right, we're gonna have to half the price. And I think the same is gonna happen for Nintendo if you don't buy the key cards and you actively avoid the key cards, like, whereas you could, like Room Factory, yes, I will support that. I will support it. I'm not paying the $10 more on the Switch 2, because I just one, I don't have a Switch 2, but I would have supported it if that was the only version I could have bought. I would have supported that one, maybe not at full price, but I would have waited for a sale and then bought it at the $60. Mm-hmm. But like that, do that. Do that. Don't not. And I love how the creator, when asked, he was like, yeah, I didn't want to. He goes, I don't even know what a key card is sometimes. He goes, I go to a store and then they give me a code in a box, and I don't have the game, and I feel like I just got gypped when I walked off the store. And he goes, imagine these grandmas buying these games. So he goes, I never wanted to do that to my customers, so all my games will always be complete on cart. And I was like, oh, thank you for understanding how real people think.
I bought little Billy this game, and he opened it up, and there's no distance. Poor example. I expected it to be empty, but Monster Hunter's in here, and I'm playing Rise of Rona. We're not going to talk about how bad this is. I mean, the fun game, but I'm talking about the bad of putting a different game in the wrong case.
Oh my god, that peeves me off, dude. I went through my son's collection once, and every game was like that. Every game was not in the case where it belonged.
Expedition 33 and Monster Hunter.
Look, my guy. Oh no! Oh, that would kill. That would. I don't have OCD, but guys, that fries like. Oh no, I couldn't see it. I had to go through all his games and like Tetris them back. I was like, no, why?
To be fair, those are games that I'm kind of playing right now, so I got them over to the side. Now it's bad if I took those and put them back on the shelf behind me, but they're in arm's reach. When they go back on the shelf, they will be appropriately in
you need something like this, but CD form. Like
Okay,
you know how they used to sell you know how they used to sell like these mini CD pockets for CD players, where you put the games that like these are the games I'm actively playing, so they go on a little case and they stay on my table, so that these are the active ones, and the cases go in the box. We are so off topic.
I know we are off topic. So
guys, this is how our minds work.
So I've got something like that for my Nintendo games. So I am kind of currently playing Bravely Default, but then I also have this go. We're not going to talk about that because Nintendo. But anyway, but yeah, like Hyrule Warriors I can dabble in. Mario I've been wanting to play. Persona and like Live Alive and the Pokemans.
Yeah, so you need to do that for your CDs. Get one of those little tiny CD jewel cases, and then you can put your CDs that you're actively playing in there. So
typically with my CDs and stuff, like, so I have a physical game in the system. Again, physical. Mm-hmm. I am 95% physical, but yeah, the physical game sits in the system, and then I focus on that game. And then usually what happens is, okay, I'm not in the mood to play this anymore. I take that game out and I put in another game. So I usually deal one at a time. But now I'm like, all right, Monster Hunter had this special event going on. I'm playing that. And then the event ended. I'm swapping out. I was like, all right, I need to play Expedition 33. Pull that out. Nah, I don't want to play that. I want to go back to Rise of Ronin and pull that out, put that in. So usually I stick with one game at a time. This time I got bad.
As you can see, I keep that little case on my, because I have now I don't think it's diagnosed ADHD. I definitely don't, but I am currently playing all of these games. Like I will flip flop between. I'm always playing. Like you're always wondering why I can beat so many games. It's because I'm actively playing a bunch at the same time. So like I'll have my multiplayer game here, these ones I'm playing with people, these are my single player ones down here, and I'm like, all right, I'm not in the mood for that one, I'm gonna just pick this one up. I'm still playing Hello Kitty. Hello Kitty's in my system right now. I'm not playing this is the one that's next on the queue, so I put it in my case. All right, you're next on the queue, so I don't forget about you. So that's how I do mine. But you see, guys, all physicals.
Yep.
All physicals.
but then, you probably have some people that are watching, and maybe if there's somebody that's new that's sticking around, this far into the podcast, that are like, well, you guys have all these games you're carrying around with you. You got a booklet. You have a little Harley Quinn candy tin full of them. Why don't you just do digital and it's all on one cart and convenient? You can swap them out. You don't have to carry all that extra stuff with you. What if you lose the case? What if you lose the game? And today I say nay to you. No, I'm physical.
Physical. So I did now I know a lot of people won't do this, but for me specifically, I have renter's insurance for that reason. So if I lose my Switch for the games, I just have to pay a deposit and let them know what games I was carrying. I have proof, obviously, but you just saw the proof, guys. If I ever lose that case, but to be fair, this case doesn't leave the house. When I take a Switch game with me, it's usually on my Switch Lite, and it's one game. So like, this is for like my table, like the games I'm switching between what I'm currently playing. This doesn't leave the house. And this never leaves the house.
In token with the Switch 2 and the digital games, I think towards the end of the Nintendo Switch's life cycle, an accessory came out. I forgot where it was made. It wasn't in the US, but it was something called the Miggy Switch, which it's spoilers, but yeah. I mean, spoiler, yeah, it bricks your Switch. But anyway, like I was saying. People have been testing it, like, because Nintendo was trying to fight it on the last system. And basically, for those of y'all that aren't aware, what it is you can take a dumped file of like a Switch game and put the file on your system. The problem is the file has a unique ID. So if you download it from the internet, there might be 50, like say for instance, there's like 50 IDs of that one game being played at the same time. Nintendo's like getting it back because it's online. And they're like, hey, this is kind of fishy. Now with some people, a very small percentage of people were legitimately getting it. And then they had their a modded Switch, and they would dump their file from off of their shelf, their personal collection, and then put it on the MIG Switch. So they would still have their physical games. They legally purchased it, and they were dumping it on there so they can play it and have all their games with them on the go, and they still own their games, still giving Nintendo their hard-earned rupees. Switch 2 came out, and all the bricking things and all the other stuff, and Nintendo streamers and tech enthusiasts, they were like, well, what will happen if I put my MIG Switch into the Switch 2? And they popped it in there, and sure enough, bricked. It bricked. They tried to turn on it, they tried to do everything, tried to play another game, they tried to log in online, nothing. It wouldn't, I don't say it bricked it, but it banned their account. Not bricked, but banned their account. And I think I don't know if they had to reset the Switch or if it was just banned altogether, but yeah. So yeah, they're really fighting the piracy and everything. Even if you legitimately own the games and you did everything through the right steps, they're just banning it outright. And I kind of think that sucks. I mean, because it's a third party thing, people are using it nefariously. But if you see that I have the game in my system and I've been playing it with that ID, and I happen to make a copy and put it on another device, and that same ID is being accessed through my Nintendo ID, then you should leave me alone and let it go. But Nintendo is just, we're gonna squash it all together.
Right. I get that and the thing is that's completely legal to do that. You can legally dump your own game onto yeah, it's legal. There's I don't remember the law. It's legal to do that as long as you're not selling it to other people. If it's your game and you're creating a dump file for yourself and it's your personal use, you're completely within your right to do that because it's your game. You're not selling it. You're the one still using it. You're not giving it to somebody else. You are legally allowed to copy your game onto for backup purposes.
And see, we would have to look at what the new user's license agreement is on the Switch, because they updated it, basically saying that they can brick your console at any time. And it's like two things they can brick. I think they can either brick it or lock you out at any time. And two, it's in there that you don't own your console. Even though you dropped the $500 on there, it's in there saying that you do not own the console. You are authorized to be able to use it and to play and everything, but you don't own it. And I'm like, what? That makes no sense.
That's a hard nope for me. That's another reason why I don't Switch 2.
But
I bought it.
I think that rolled out with the Switch 1 because I had an update close to the Switch 2 release.
Yeah, they try to backpedal it, but I mean, and they made it so like you had to agree to it if you play online, which I obviously do. But I don't think because we bought the Switch 1 before that was a thing, putting it on the Switch 1 back like retrospectively is legal either. I know there are some companies, some territories that are fighting that the legality of that, because at this point you didn't have that as a thing in the you added that user agreement, and the only way for us to play or even update our games is for us to accept that user agreement. But think of people like me who have tons of games. I'm not gonna not play my games that I bought before you made this rule. Like, what are you talking about? Like, so I and that right there is why I didn't buy the new one, because I was like, no, I'm not. You want to own my game? Fine, own it. I'm not buying it. You want to own the you want the ownership of your Switch 2? Keep it. I'm not buying it. If you want me to buy it, then I own it. I'm obviously I get that not modifying it or whatever, but if it's my personal system and I don't want to get online with it and I'm gonna do whatever the heck I want with it. It's mine. Yeah.
And the TLDR and thanks to AI on Google for summoning up, it says the claim that Nintendo you do not own your Switch stems from the company's updated user agreement, the EULA, which grants Nintendo the power to render the console permanently unusable or brick it for violating the terms, such as unauthorized modification, emulation, or piracy. And that was as of May 2025 that came out. I think it was right before the Switch 2 release.
No.
So,
and that you have to go through arbitration, that you can't sue them. I'm like, they're what they're gonna do is get a class action lawsuit on them. You can't fight thousands of people. Oh, they all agreed to it. Yeah, because I feel like the one for the Switch 2, fine, if you agreed to it on that system before you bought it, but like you want to retroactively do it on a system that I already bought and own thousands of games for. If I knew that you were going to put that clause in, I wouldn't have bought all the games. I wouldn't have bought your system. Obviously, I didn't buy the Switch 2 because I feel so strongly about that.
I'm looking up numbers. Switch 2 versus Switch 1 sales comparison in the US. And this is as of July 2025. Line launch Switch total US monthly. Let's see, Switch 2 versus Switch 1 US. Gap change in the last month. 175,861 Switch 2 total lead. 800,092 Switch 2. The Switch 2 total sales is 2 million. 2 million, is that dollars? 2,081,172. Switch 1 total sales is 1,189,076. July 2025 is the second month that the Nintendo Switch 2 has been available in the US. During the last month, the Switch 2 has outsold the Switch 1 by 0.18 million units. When you align the launches, the Switch 2 is now ahead of the Switch 1 by 0.89 million units. The second month for the Switch 2 is July 2025, while for the Switch 1, it is April 2017. The Switch 2 has sold 2.8 million units, while the Switch 1 has sold 1.19 million units during the same time frame. The Nintendo Switch 1 sold 48.27 million units to date. The Switch 2 is currently 46.19 million units behind the lifespan sales of the Switch 1. So I guess they're saying that the Switch 2 is like outsold the Switch 1, I guess, to date, but overall lifetime, Switch is still the king. But yeah, wow. Yeah,
because the Switch 2 hasn't had a chance to get lifetime, but I feel like for hardcore gamers, and I mean, obviously not the clout seekers, but for hardcore gamers that want to own their physicals, and I feel like it's obviously an older generation that grew up owning things. Like this newer generation is like, your books you don't own, your this you don't own, that you don't, and I feel like they're used to not owning their stuff. But I feel like the older generation, we grew up, like my mom still has all the Nintendo games that she bought in her house. And I'm like, yeah, I grew up with those things. And if I want to pop them into a working Nintendo or a retro something console, it'll work. Like, I don't have to worry about an update, the servers being closed. Like, I don't have to worry about any of that. And I feel like that is also, and now this is a conversation I haven't had on my channel yet either. I don't think I will be buying any Nintendo games day one anymore. And here is why. I think, especially the bigger titles, maybe the smaller titles, they don't do it as much, but like, I'm thinking, I will use Animal Crossing for an example. You know how when Animal Crossing came out, we were all happy to have it during the pandemic, but the game came out empty. The game didn't have, they had to update constantly, update. So like, if for some reason my Switch erases my files and the servers go down, I have a really crappy copy of Animal Crossing because the game isn't complete. I won't have any of the festivals. I will only have the base game with no festivals, no nothing. It'll be an empty shell of a game. And so what I decided I'm going to do is stop buying day one and just wait for cart revisions. They revise the carts all the time and put all the stuff that they would have that they added to the game in those new cart revisions when they're selling them. So at this point, I'm just gonna now start waiting for cart revisions, because as like I even bought Pokemon was it Violet and Scarlet with all the DLC, and I waited for VGP to sell it with the one that had both DLC games on the cart, because they sold you one where it was just one DLC on the cart and then a code in a box. The one I have has both DLCs in the cart, so the game is fully complete. If the servers go down tomorrow, I can pop that copy of Scarlet and Violet, minus the raid battles that won't be happening, and I'll be able to play all the DLC, all the game up to the point of the cart revision. And what I mean by that is like now that my Animal Crossing game is like, I need to find another copy of the Animal Crossing game, because I have day one Animal Crossing that's barren and no updates on it. And like, if I ever wanted to go back later on and play that game, and I'm not going to say that I won't do it, guys, this is my retirement plan. I plan on, hopefully, I would love to get rich and retire early, but when I retire, I plan on being one of those grannies you see playing video games. My mom still plays video games and she's retired, so I plan on being that.
A Skyrim grandma or Skyrim granny?
I've seen the other lady, the Food for Dogs lady, that she still plays video games. Wow. But and she plays Persona and all that stuff still. So yeah, you never heard of Food for Dogs?
No.
Yeah, she's an older lady, and she's still playing her games, and she's fully retired, I think, at this point too. So that is my goal in life, to be a retired grandma still playing my games. And that is why, like, I'm gonna wait for cart revisions now. Like, obviously, if I get something as a gift, I will keep it. Like the other copy of Pokemon Sword, or like Violet and Scarlet, they were gifts, so obviously I'm gonna keep them. But I can sell them now because I have the revised cart versions where it has all the DLC on it, and that too. Like, I probably, if I want to play Pokemon day one, I always get both copies, so I'm like, I'll just get one and wait for all the DLCs, and then wait for the revised cart and make sure all the DLC is on the cart before I buy the game. Because I feel like I came from a generation where you could just pop in a game and play the game, and the companies, you know what they would do? They would product test their games for bugs. You know, that was a thing back then. Like, they weren't giving us buggy games. And now a game like you mentioned earlier, the Cyberpunk 2077, it came out in a state when it first came out.
Yep.
And the developers knew it, but the publishers wanted to sell the game.
Yep.
Developers were telling the publishers, the game is not ready, the game is not ready, the game is not ready. But the publishers, so greedy for the money, you know, we're like, oh, we're gonna just release it anyway. And you know, they were hoping to do the Skyrim model, like, oh, people are gonna buy it anyway. You keep working on it, and we'll just revise it. No, I want my game complete. And now the one you like the Cyberpunk 2077, the new one, I think on the Switch too, is complete.
Yep.
All the game is done. There's no bugginess. You can play the game. And I think for me, like, I think I might start doing that. I might just wait for the cart revisions and I go to like, there's a website, and I'll link it below, this Complete on Cart, where you can find out like what cart has a revision, and if the cart has, at what stage is your cart have, right? So like, you could either wait for the revisions, and some of them will tell you, like, even if the game never came out with a cart revision, this has an update, so that you'll know that your cart, like what DLC you might be missing, or what bugs you might not get fixed if you only put the game in day one, no patches. And that's what I want. I think I'm just gonna keep waiting for like my revised carts, because these games used to come out playable, and now like Animal Crossing didn't come out playable. Now I get
technically it did come out playable. It came out playable, but there's not a lot of content.
No, I mean, it came out empty.
Mm-hmm.
It came out. Yeah, it came out too empty for like my liking.
Okay.
And I feel like damn, I had a thought. You messed it up. I was going somewhere, and then the thought went poof. No worries. Oh, okay. I get live service games, right? Now those ones I wouldn't mind too much waiting. Like if I will use Splatoon for an example. The game itself, like if you're playing story mode, that needs to be complete on cart when it comes out. But I get the revisions for like all the features that you're adding because it's a live service game and you can't play it once the servers die. So those I get, right? Like if it's a live, the content that they add in Splatoon is free, like free downloads. So I'm okay with that because it's a live service game, but the game itself needs to be complete. Like the story mode, even though I'm not a fan of the story mode on Splatoon, the story mode needs to be complete on cart when it comes out. The live service game's fine if you want to keep revising them because hackers, and I get that, right? If it's a live service game. But if it's an RPG, a game that never needs to touch the internet, and get rid of these microtransactions, side note, but a game that never needs to touch the internet, they need to come out complete on cart. So I'm just, I as a consumer, I'm being hyper aware of what these companies are doing. They're telling us we don't own our games. They're telling us this. They're telling us that. I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna just wait for a cart revision. Since I don't own my game anyway, I'm gonna wait till you get your crap together and wait for the cart revision. You wanted to add something, Miggy? I can see you're like,
If buying is not owning, then piracy is not theft.
Right? I didn't buy it. I don't own it when I buy it, so then.
Right. I mean, and going back to what you were saying about the game disc, like back in our day, and as I'm trying to borrow some of these PS2 games and other games from friends on the internet, I'm like, take Grand Theft Auto for example, Grand Theft Auto Vice City. You would see like 3 or 4 different versions of that file to download. But each one of them, it would have like version this, that, and the other version, 1.2 version, whatever. And a lot of times if there was a bug, the infamous hot coffee mod, I think that was San Andreas, but the infamous hot coffee mod thing in there was leftover code in there. Somebody hacked it, found it, and bam, we had X-rated content in that game. They revised it, put out a new disc. I think they pulled old copies off and revised it, put out a new disc with the updated code in there. Back in the day, if you found a severe bug like that, you had to print a new version of that disc. And again, using Grand Theft Auto, maybe even Tony Hawk, I don't know if they did it with that, but licensing can expire for music and content in the game that they use. So they'll have to go back, change the music, print another version of the disc. Nowadays, you can just hit a button and like, all right, here's a new update. You turn on that, you go turn on your PS5, your Switch, and it's got an update, and bam, everything's changed. You have to go online and look at the patch notes. But that is the benefit of like buying it. Like it's a catch-22. Like buying a game day one, you get it how it was originally released. Like say for instance, if the developer was a quality developer, they did what they're supposed to do. They tested it, QAs did their thing, all the other thing, and it was a good game. You buy it day one, you get all the stuff, but then down the road, there's updates, there's changes, there's little things that they change. Like, for instance, I forgot this game that came out recently that had like twerking zombies and stuff. It was wild. It was an indie developer. It was fun. It was kind of like this. So I kid you, there were zombies and demon like possessed people and they're just throwing it back. I mean, like it's hilarious. But Wu-Chang, I think it was Wu-Chang Fallen Empire, Wu-Chang something sword or something. But what they did was, if you bought that disc, you had the game as it was when it came out. What happened was they had later, I think weeks later, pushed an update which changed it where you couldn't kill certain characters, certain bosses. So instead of beating them, they fainted. And these were like, so this game is like an alternate tale, like Chinese history and all this other stuff. So you had Chinese like warlords or deities and whatever. They made it so you couldn't kill those historical figures, which changed the story and changed maybe some aspect of certain things. And people have been like leaving not good reviews because of that. But if you bought it physical, disconnect your system online, pop the disc in there, you can play it the way that it was when it came out without getting that update. So there's benefits of getting it day one. There's also benefits of waiting for a complete release. Ninja Turtles, the Shredder's Revenge. That company dropped that game about 15, 20 different times, and it's every time here's a new character. I thought I was doing something. I was like, I got the complete game. I'm like, NGG, I bought the complete game. You do know that what is that, VGP or whatever is getting a more complete version with 5 more characters, a new soundtrack. I'm like, what? This is like the 20th version. There's a 21st version dropping. So it's like it's like it doesn't pay to wait. But and then two, I want to do what you do, like when they drop like Tales, new Tales coming out, like remastered, enhancing all the DLC stuff in there, but censorship. They're censoring stupid things out. I wonder how they're gonna censor old girl's outfit, because she was just like from here to straight down, just skin, and they censored out a pipe from a mustache. Like you had a fake mustache, there was a pipe attached to it. They censored that out. They censor little text things, so the jokes in Japan that don't translate well over here, they changed. It's like the 90s again. They're treating Japanese content like it's the 90s. I was, it's too Japanesey for the American audience. We don't like their culture, But they're changing that stuff out, and it's like, well, I might not have the DLC, but your boy still got it on PS3, and if I'm not mistaken, PS3 shop is still available. It's a bit of a run around some hoops, so you have to go online on your PC, upload money to your PSN account, and then log into your PlayStation 3 and purchase from the store via your PlayStation 3. That's the only way to get PS content. So I might know what I'm doing after. I might have to check that out after we get done. My PS3 is hooked up right here. So yeah. So I might have to look for the DLC for the PS3 for Tales of Xillia. Is that what it is? That's the remake. Tales of Xillia.
I think Tales of Xillia, yeah.
So yeah, I might have to look and see what content. I might have to just do that with the other Tales games to see what I've got, because I've got Tales of Xillia regular, and I've got the collector's edition of Tales of Xillia too. But yeah, it's ridiculous. So it's like, I want to update the games. I want better graphics. Tales series is one of my favorites. I dropped $200 for Tales of Destiny or Tales of Eternia, the first one. But yeah, I'm sorry, I know that hurts you. Never pay full price, and I paid like quadruple the price for it. But I got it, and it's still going up in value. But I want to play it. Well, I'm probably not going to play it. I'm going to play the digital version because of the only reason is because of the visual quality. Like, I tried playing a PS2 game on modern TVs, and I couldn't read the text because it was so blurry. So that's what made me start emulation. I've got it on my PC. I can tweak with the resolution, all the stuff, and make it playable. I'm not trying to play 4K and make it look a modern game. I just want it to be playable. So that's the only reason. You
want to be able to read your game.
Yeah. So that's like the only reason why I probably wouldn't play the physical game, but I have it in my collection. I have all the US released all the US initial release versions of the Tales game in my collection now. So
there you go.
Yeah. So I mean, I have attachment to it, so I don't think I'd pay that much money for any other game. I mean, I wouldn't do it. But it is benefit to having those games, again, the physical, and you can't do that with the key card. You pop in that key card, and supposedly you can get it. Well, no, I take that back. No, it has to be installed on your system. You pop that key card in there, and you have the access rights to play it. So it'll treat it like it's a physical game, but you just have a key in there. It's like, oh, download it on your system, pop the key in there. But if you uninstall it and you can't re-download it again, you just have a piece of plastic with the key on. You basically have a key and no door to put it in.
Right, when the server shut down, that's what you're gonna have, and that's what people aren't understanding.
It's like, they took the door, but what do I do with this? What do I do with this key? I don't have a door to. But I don't know, and I don't think that the key card problem is getting. I think the key card problem was long before the Switch 2, but they actually put a name on it now, because there were certain games that you would get, like even for PlayStation, Xbox, you would get a disc, it would have a few GBs on there, and then bam, you popped it in the system. All right, let me wait 30 minutes to download this 100 gig or 60 gig file. I'm actually downloading the game, but the key is on the disc. But Nintendo actually gave it a name, key card. You put a name to the villain, and people have something to attack. So yeah, it's been a problem before the key card. It's just more prevalent now that we have a name and name for it.
Right. Well, I mean, I already knew it was like the white box of death is what I used to call it. Like, I'm not getting that, like the white bar of death, because they were all had like the white bars on it. I was like, no, I'm gonna stay away from white bars, and the ones that, because the white bars had the code in the box, and they also had the ones that said download like certain amount of gigs on it. I was like, so I was like, oh yeah, no, I'm not getting that white box game. But now, I'm a more savvy consumer is what I will say. So that's why I'm like, no, like I already knew that I didn't, like before it was given a name, I already knew I'm not buying that white box game because I don't like, I don't
know for me, dog.
Like, right. I mean, I told you in the last podcast that I did do it like once or twice. Once because I didn't know about it the first time I did with Wolfenstein, and the second time I did it was with the Star Fox game, the Starlink game. Only because the game was $5. You can tell me I will buy that piece of plastic thing at $5.
Yeah, for $5 I'll check it out. Like how I got Disney Infinity too.
Right. Yeah, I will check your piece of plastic later on, not usable, for $5, but then it has to get pushed up the backlog because it can't stay in the backlog like I have another game that requires online to play. Is the only one game I have of it, and I didn't even know that it had that. Like it had that in the thing. Like I have Temtem, and you can't play that offline.
Really? I was gonna check that game out.
Yeah, you have to have online. So that one, like before the server shut down, that one has to kind of move up in priority, just because then I'll never get to experience it because, and then like you were saying with the Catch-22 about like me waiting and me not waiting, I will say there will be disadvantages if I wait later on. Like I will put out an example of a game that I really loved. Is Fae Farm. Fae Farm is now shutting down their online server.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So Fae Farm sold us, and I'll say us because I bought it for that reason, guys. I don't know if you know I'm not a farming sim person, but I bought Fae Farm with the I can play this farming game with my friends, and I did. I played with a couple of my friends. I played with my sister and a couple of my friends. So I did a full party of 4 at one point, and we were playing Fae Farm online. And I mean, I beat it obviously, but nobody else is gonna be able to. You'll be able to experience the main game, but not the online. And this is why I say don't sell me on a feature you're not keeping either.
Yep.
Like that's not a feature in my game if you're not keeping it in the game. This is why I hate server shutdowns. I really do. Like that it grinds my gears. Don't put a game on the server if you're not going to keep it on the server. Well, sorry, go ahead.
That's as a mobile game dabbler, I'm quite familiar with that because a few of the Tales games that I started playing. They had the nerve to do a mobile, I think Tales of Rays or something. I think that's Tales of Cristoria. I think that's what it was called. They had the nerve to make an anime for that. It's like, how dare you invest me in your story, and then you drop an anime, and you take it away. Because I think it was 2 of them that I was playing. Tales of Rays, that was out for a minute, and then it got pulled. And the Tales of Cristoria, I only think that lasted. I think that might have lasted maybe a year or 2 years max. But yeah. Oh,
I'm gonna tell you right now. Go ahead.
No, I was saying real quick that you were talking about games and preserving and all that stuff. Are you familiar with Stop Killing Games?
I think that's the people that are hosting the Fae Farm thing. That are doing something about the people with the I heard a tale, but I didn't look into that company. Go ahead, tell me what's going on.
Well, it's basically an initiative group, and I forget, they're originally, I think they're outside of the US, but they're basically trying to push
game preservation. So if it's an online game, let's see if we can try and find a way to make it survive offline. They want to make sure that games are always accessible if it's out, just for preservation purposes.
Yeah, I don't know how functional this is. Okay, so this is a tech question. You're a tech guy. You might be able to answer this. Maybe not. I feel like I feel that if you don't think you can host it forever, right? And I get that. Make it peer-to-peer connection later on. I'm not saying make it peer-to-peer connection right away, but add that as a feature so that when you turn off the server, that you can flip that peer-to-peer connection switch on, so that even if I can't play on a server, if I know a group of people, or I join a Reddit page or a Discord server that they're all playing that game, make it peer-to-peer then. Like I have to have a strong internet to play with you. And now if I find somebody with a weak internet, I'm not playing with you, obviously. But make it peer-to-peer connection so that we can still be able to play our games online.
Yeah, and I think I don't know exactly like how development on that side would work and be feasible. The best with my limited knowledge that I can think of, and I'm thinking of a game like Phantasy Star Online 2, which I'm playing, currently playing like it's like 2020. But if that game shuts down, there's like a bunch of story content that you can play. Like you can jump in there, you can do things, go into hubs, like say they won't need to be connected online. You can do raids and stuff, run those by yourself. If you're at appropriate level, they may have to do some tweaking or whatever. Or like you said, maybe the peer-to-peer. Not sure 100% how that works, but you can leave it. You won't be able to take advantage of, there won't be like new events, there won't be new stuff in the item shop, there won't be like any of that stuff, but you can come through, play the story, get in, get out, and it's still accessible. It'd be a shell of itself as an MMO. I mean, you could probably do the same thing with Final Fantasy 14. Like you download how many ever gigs it is, and you can just run through just the story. Like there'll be no events. I mean, maybe make the add NPCs, so like when you go to raid the dungeons, it's like, oh, I can pick my party. Like, let me get this healer, let me get this tank, let me pick your party, and it gives you NPC characters to run through the dungeon with you. That will probably cost a little more development. Probably by the time they're ready to give up on the game, it's not profitable or anything. So it's like, let's just shut it down, move on to the next thing.
I will say that Final Fantasy has that in there now, 14.
Okay.
You can run a dungeon with NPCs, so that's already in the game. They've already coded that in, and I think because I'm running into that now because I'm playing it from start. I didn't join it when it first came in, so I guess for people like me who are just starting their Final Fantasy 14 journey, they're probably not going to get as many people to play with them. These bosses, these like beginner level bosses, so dungeons, so we already have NPC functionality, so that's already built in, or I added in. I don't know if it was from the beginning, but you can do that now.
No,
I just wanted to be, just because you mentioned it, you can do that now. I can do that now if I wanted to. Just as a side note, I was like, you're talking about it, and I'm like, yeah, that exists now.
But I mean, I don't know how much development they would have to do to make it sustainable and make it be able to live on like offline. So right. I mean, it's an interesting concept. I like to keep following this and see how development would go with that, and what the future of like say, an MMO offline would how that would be.
Yeah, because I never got to experience Final Fantasy. I think it was
11.
And no, yeah, wait, yes.
11 was the online one.
Yes. I'm sorry. Yes, I've never got to experience Final Fantasy 11, which is why I'm playing 14 now, because I was like, I'm not an MMO person, but it is fun playing with people, right? Mm-hmm. And I am enjoying the story of Final Fantasy 14, but if I wait, I won't experience it. Now, I know they're doing it with Dragon Quest, the online version. They're trying to make what is it called, a version that you can play offline,
because we don't have any over here,
right? Anyway, I feel like we've prattled on long enough. You want to let people know where to find you? If you've made it this far, you're a real one. Put a 14 down. A 14 down, just so that you know. I wish there was some other like emoji. I feel like you could put. What other emoji could you put? Like put a 14 down so that we know that you made it down this far. And Miggy, let us know where, or everybody know where they can find you.
Put a 14 or a lizard down. Lizard. Those that spend time on the internet, you know. Lizard. But yeah, you can find me St. Louis. Hey, where can you find me? I'm on Instagram, Player One Miggy. I on X, aka Twitter, at the Plamo Chef. I'm on the TikTok. I'm not doing anything on there, but I'm on the TikTok, Player One Miggy. I mean, yeah, yeah. I'm on the way. You type in Player One Miggy, you might find me something anywhere. You might even find my PSN or whatever. I might even be in VR chat. Never know.
So, never know where you'll find him.
And
we're trying to get him to. No, it's ghastly. We're good. But thank you guys for watching, and I appreciate you taking the time to listen to this. I know it's ramblings from a small channel, but I feel like a lot of this stuff needs to go out into the masses. Don't tell us we didn't warn you about this shit later on in life when you can't play your games and there's no servers. Okay? I don't want to hear, oh, I didn't know. I'm telling you now. Don't buy those gay key cards because later on in life they're not gonna work. Anyway, happy gaming, guys. Bye.
Bye.